Hello, warriors, and happy holidays. As I film this, it is the first full week of December in the year 2017, and I am focused, as a lot of people are around me, on holidays. And as a coach, it is my intent to provide you with material that will help you live your greatest life and live a life that you love. And today is an interesting one, and it was sort of like an aha for me on a lesson on expectations and how expectations affect my overall happiness in life. So I'm going to dig on in. You want to have happy holidays? Drop those expectations. Yep, drop them. The lower your expectations, the higher your level of contentment and joy will be. Not kidding. In fact, think through the following. What do you expect your extended family to act like at gatherings? What do you expect your husband, friends, or family to give you as a gift? What do you expect your kids to act like at different events? Where in your answers to those questions are you setting yourself up for some disappointment? For example, are you expecting your alcoholic father to drink responsibly? Are you expecting your critical mother-in-law to compliment your parenting style? Are you expecting your non-demonstrative husband to hold your hand and hug you by the Christmas tree each night? Guess what? I don't think you need a life coach to tell you that you're going to be disappointed. There's a great Maya Angelou quote that says something along the lines of, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. And that's really what this blog post is about. In life, expectations have gotten me in trouble in two different ways. One, when I expect people or others to act differently than they always have in the past, like the Maya Angelou quote. Or two, when I expect others to act how I would act in that situation. In the first case, when I expect others to act differently than they have before in the past, I feel let down, disappointed, and frustrated. Back to the questions, if you expect your alcoholic father to suddenly not drink at Thanksgiving or Christmas or whenever, you're setting yourself up for expectation fatigue, or actually Christine Hassler calls it expectation hangover. Why do we feel disappointed, frustrated, or let down? Well, it's rooted in kindness. We want to expect the best of everyone. And in doing so, we forget that our definition of best is different than their definition of best. We forget that we're all different, and these differences is what fuels our human experience here. Instead of expecting or demanding my dad to be kind and easygoing, why not see it like it is? If he's demanding, expect him to demand. If he likes to control everything, then don't be surprised when he tries to control everything. Have you ever had the thought, this year our holiday dinner or our holiday vacation will be different? I bet we'll all act differently, everyone will be on their best behavior, and we'll sit around the table singing Kumbaya. What has happened when you have that thought in the past? Well, people show up as their human selves and act as they always have acted. What I would like to help you see is that in accepting reality and accepting people for who they are, you will be calmer and more at peace. Your family is what it is. Your spouse is who he or she is. Your kids are what they are. Let go of trying to control or imagine the perfect holiday event, and embrace your holiday reality on its own merit. Years ago, I heard this concept, this tool of family bingo, and it's a tool I've shared with many a client and myself to great success. The idea is this: get out a piece of paper, make a grid on the piece of paper, 4 by 4 or 5 by 5. In each box, write something that usually happens over the holidays that mildly or acutely bothers you. For example, some examples of this: Dad drinks too much. Mom criticizes my outfit. Sister borrows my shirt without asking. Son swears in front of grandma. Daughter keeps looking at phone during Christmas concert. You get what I'm saying. Fill in your blanks as to what usually happens during the holidays or what bothers you during the holidays. Tuck that paper into your pocket and go into your holiday season. When the things in the boxes happen, cross them off. You're one step closer to bingo. Can you imagine what happens in your mind? When you expect your mom to criticize you, and she does, what do you think? When you have the box there and your expectations are such that you expect her to criticize you, instead of thinking, damn it, my mom is so critical, why can't I do anything right in her eyes? You'll probably think something along the lines of, yep, There she goes again, finding something to criticize. Wonder what she'll criticize next. How will you feel differently when you think the second thought rather than the first? Are you starting to see why expectations are important and how they actually protect you? We cannot control what others will do, we cannot control what others will say, and we cannot control how others can act. What can we control? We can always control how we react. Let your mom be your mom. Let your son be your son. Let your spouse be your spouse. This does not mean allow people to treat you in an abusive manner. That's a totally different situation and scenario, and boundaries are needed, and that's not what I'm talking about or covering in this blog. The second way expectations can get us into trouble is when we expect someone to act the way we would act in a certain situation. When we think someone will act a certain way and they don't, or when we expect someone to do one thing and they do another. This happens in all relationships, but it's especially easy to see how expectations lead us to problems when we look at our interactions with strangers. So consider this incident with a stranger. The other day I was in Harris Teeter and about to enter a checkout line. A woman I don't know zoomed in front of me with her very full cart. I literally had to stop my cart so she didn't bang into me. I could have thought, what a selfish and rude woman. She just edged in front of me. If I thought that thought, how would I have felt? Irritated, angry, possibly like a victim. None of those feelings are feelings I enjoy feeling. So instead, I chose to think, how interesting that she chose to zoom in front of me in that way, knowing that if roles were reversed, I would not have zoomed in front of her in that way. Which feelings did that thought generate? That thought generated feelings of calmness, curiosity, possibly some empathy. Think of how, upon leaving Harris Teeter and going about my day, the different thoughts that I chose could have driven my day. If I left the store irritated and angry, I would have acted a different way than how I would have acted if I felt calm and empathetic. This is an example of why I do the work that I do, the amazing power managing our mind gives us. We're responsible for the energy that we bring into this world, and we're responsible for which thoughts we focus on. Now consider an interaction. So we were talking about strangers because that's often easier to see our interaction. You know, the woman didn't mean anything personally against me. But let's look at people who we're in close relationships with the loved one. One that comes up often as I work with a lot of moms is, what do we choose to think when we see dishes left in the sink or shoes in the middle of the family room floor? If you find yourself instantly annoyed, pause and think of what you're thinking to feel annoyed. So if you find yourself instantly annoyed when you see the dirty dishes, pause and ask yourself, what am I thinking to feel annoyed? Probably something along the lines of, what a disrespectful kid. Or, how self-absorbed is he that he thinks I'm here to pick up his mess? Or, I've told him 1,000 times. Beep, pause, stop that brain pattern now. It's not helping you. Why are you making his shoes or his dirty dishes mean something about you? You're giving your power away. Do you really think that your son or mate or whomever left the shoes there, do you really think that they intentionally left the shoes in the middle of the floor to piss you off? Do you really think that they left their dirty dishes in the sink just to get you angry and annoyed? You're judging his or her behavior on the framework of what you would do in this situation. This will get you in trouble because alert, whoever it is that left their stuff there is not you. Whenever I can step back and remind myself that people are not like me, whether it's someone I love or a stranger, I feel more peaceful. I constantly remind myself that not everyone thinks the way I do. I find power when I remind myself that their action was not personal. It was not directed towards me. I call this tool, don't take it personally, Susie. There are very few people on this planet that set out to do things to piss you off. Okay? If you're in a relationship with some of those people, get out. That's another discussion. But there really are very few people on this planet that do things just to piss you off. In the case of the shoes, either they didn't even realize they left them there. I'm speaking from experience. I do this all the time. I leave my stuff around and I sure hope that my partner doesn't think that I did it on purpose. Okay? Note to partner. But they either didn't realize they left them there, or maybe they know that whenever they leave their shoes around or their dishes in the sink, their shoes will be picked up and put in the correct bin, or their dishes will be put in the dishwasher. Neither is personal. Neither is done to intentionally piss me off. It's my thoughts about it that piss me off, not the act itself. Insert the second tool, using curiosity instead of judgment. When I choose to look at things with curiosity instead of judgment, I feel much calmer. Instead of jumping to judge my child, partner, or friend as selfish or rude, when I switch to curiosity, I wonder why they did that. Or, how interesting that she left her dirty dishes there again. That helps me sort of step back, investigate the situation, and manage my mind. This works with relatives quite well too. How interesting that my mother-in-law is criticizing my table setting instead of complimenting me for the meal. Do you see how your expectations of other people and your thoughts about it can really influence your feelings and your mood? When I drop my expectations from some lofty fantasy world of how everyone's going to act, I undoubtedly feel happier and calmer. It's not that I've lowered my standards, it's that I'm no longer trying to control how others should act or what others should do. This is a good thing because, newsflash, I can't. I cannot control how other people act, what other people say, or what other people do. I can only control me, and controlling my thoughts is a big enough job. I get to control what I do and what I say. I get to choose which thoughts to focus on and which thoughts to let pass me by. I get to set my expectations of what my holidays will be like by remembering past years, taking people for who they are. My gift for the holidays is to others and to myself, lowering my expectations. In lowering my expectations, I give others the freedom to be themselves, to accept others without trying to change them, to make their actions mean something about them, not me. Cheers to a happy holiday season, and I encourage you all to go make those bingo boards. Let me know how it goes.